Hello and welcome to Pardon the Interception, Season 39, Week 6, with your hosts, myself, Lee Wood,
And Nick Taylor.
and we are without a Simon this week, so let's move on and starting off, as ever, with the GFL. So, no wonder Simon hasn't turned up this week. He barely scored any points.
Well, you don't turn up, innit?
The Rinwraiths beat the Hulk.
I have to say, you have to go into the game for the Bulls versus the Heroes. Some nice running yards in that game. And the graph just looks great. Nearly 600 rushing yards.
Just a few. Just a few running yards.
It, yeah,
Hmm. My favorite thing is that isn't even a milestone for them.
yeah, that's true. Right, it's a team record, right? So, uh,
Also, as the message has literally just come in, Colin, we're literally recording it as you messaged me.
I
So,
mean, the Hulk Wraiths game, that was
yeah,
the that was a close one, right?
it even went to quarter five.
Yep. After a bit of a comeback in the towards the end of the game for the Hulk. Take it to quarter.
Yeah, no, that is not a terrible result. On the yardage, it looks like the Hulk got robbed, but I imagine special teams played a big thing there.
That's the power, the overlord powers that are kicking in towards the end of the season.
Oh, yes. On to the Standinos.
So am I right in saying there's only one 6-0 team?
There is only one 6-0 team, yes.
The Blaze. The Blaze are
Unless you're counting '06.
no or no six. So I mean, Saints have all but locked up their division.
Yep.
I know,
No one wants the AFC North.
nah, but Paul has the old 5-5 sort of record going. That three
Yeah,
and three start. It's a good start.
yeah. Coach
Uh,
with no name might get a playoff berth this season. We will see.
yeah, I mean, and the Wraiths are still in the battle for a wild card slot. Dodgers and Armadillos as well. So
I think I think looking forward to the bowl, I'm looking at Blaze Circle, so South v South.
yeah, it's not a bad shout. I think the interesting game is week 8 when the Gunslingers play the Blaze. I think that's gonna be a pretty big game.
That is going to be a big game.
Uh, Saints don't look too bad, but they've lost to the Wraiths, so maybe their schedule's a little bit softer based on their division.
Yes, I mean Simon's in that division, so
Um, I don't know. I fancy like a Gunslingers Wildcats bowl game, something a bit different.
yeah, possible, definitely possible.
But I will say I like your pick as well.
On to the Atlantico. Bears Nighthawks was a complete shootout.
Yeah, that one to quarter five as well. Bears did well considering their turnovers for and against record in that game.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's what we like to see, Kendall. You can't keep hold of the ball.
no, the Generals versus Swamp Stallions as a big game to see which one just about stays in the race for the playoffs.
And
Um,
then you managed to lose to the Magpies.
I don't think we've got any players left. They're all
Uh,
injured. If you look at the pre-game for that, the list of injured players for both of us combined was quite long.
That's quite a few lines.
Yeah, so I think it was like
An F and
first.
an E. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I think the Magpies were maybe the most injured team, and I was the third most injured team or something in the league.
So
So
what's your excuse for losing to them?
I need to go 5-5.
Okay, that's fair.
We're back to 3-3 now, so can't get too far ahead. Might risk the 5-5 going down the drain.
So how close to the 5 and 5 are you? Okay, I see you. Not too far off.
I'm not actually that hopeful for 5-5 this season, I have to say.
So we have two 6-0 teams in the Atlantic still.
Yep. Nice to see the Kings at the top of their division, actually. See
Yes.
some
Yep.
comeback from them. And then it's almost anyone's in the wild card spot in the MFC. There's quite a few contenders there in the
It's
four teams.
it's quite heated up.
Yeah. Do you fancy your chances?
I think I can make a wild card. I've already beaten the Bears, which
Okay.
helps. Let's see. I can't remember if I have to play the Razorbacks again or not.
You do indeed.
Uh,
The
that's
big game
that
is
that's the issue.
there's that, and then the last week you're playing the Redcoats, which is definitely a wild card battle.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but not impossible, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
It is difficult to look past the Razorbacks from the MFC.
I think it's a Stampede Razorbacks. I know that looks boring on paper. I do
Yeah,
like the
no,
Eagles.
I was trying to see if I could look past the Stampede in the CFC, and I don't think I can either. So I have to go the same.
I think the Heroes are the only potentially the only other ones who could do it. I'm not quite sure they're where they have been in previous seasons. They've got
Agreed.
a good defense, by the looks of it, though. So
Yeah. And we've got 3-0-6 teams as well. So we increased the 6-0 teams by one and the 0-6 teams by one
yeah,
as we moved across leagues. Should we see if that continues when we move to the biggest Skyus? So Rivet smashed the Maroons.
yeah. Rivets aren't out of the playoff races. That's for sure.
Oh, yes.
Another good win for the Hornets as well.
Irish managed to bounce back and win.
Yeah, we got a W.
Uh,
We like throwing the ball to our opposition though. So
the Eagles putting in another win.
yeah,
And I'm going to jump quickly to the standings because I think that's where most of the conversation on the Big Sky is. There's uh, 3-6-0 teams, so we've increased by one again.
yeah. I think we bring this up. Yeah. So interestingly, on the power rankings, Hornets are top, but the Fire are only 1 point behind on the power rankings, which is interesting.
And you're always going to have to take those with a pinch of salt because Andy Bate
Yeah.
runs them, so he's
Uh,
obviously going to play his own team down.
yeah, I mean, Eagles are fourth on the rankings, uh, with the Rapiers in the middle there. So, and Rapiers have a very good defense this season. So,
Yeah,
so
it's It's
big problem.
definitely,
Yeah.
I can probably pull the playoff teams out of the LFC. I think the Buccaneers, Statesmen, 66ers, your playoff teams, your two wildcards coming from those three.
Yeah.
And technically, the 66ers have a slight advantage with their draw.
Yeah.
And then,
That's schedules like Statesmen are playing Sun Devils,
yeah,
66ers, big game, week 8.
big game. Yeah,
Phoenix, they should win that one.
should win that one.
And Rhinos.
Big game
Just
for the
tough one.
Rhinos, potentially.
It's not the easiest of schedules.
No, it's not. That's actually a roughish run out.
The 66ers have Rushmores, which they should win.
Should win.
Statesman, which is the big
Yeah,
game. They follow that up with the Hornets, though.
huge game, difficult game. Only game they've lost, I think.
Uh, yeah, it's the game they lost. And then they've got the Massive, which they should beat in the final week.
Yeah,
And then Buccaneers have the Massive, which they should win. Weasels, at the Weasels, which makes it slightly tougher, but
yeah. The Weasels
favourites.
3-3. Yeah.
3-3, they're enough in the playoffs to
Oh yeah,
make it closer.
yeah.
Uh,
It's not a foregone conclusion.
yeah, you got the Sharks, should win that one. And they finish off with the Rushmores, which they should win. So Buccaneers have the best schedule, I think. Those
So we
teams.
can probably give one to the Buccaneers, and I think the Statesmen have the very slight edge over the 66ers because they don't have to play the Hornets.
I think the big game is their game between each other. If the
Yeah.
Statesmen lose that, I'd say they're out of it. But
Are they? If it comes down to how, yeah, because of the
that
draw,
draw
probably, yeah, that
is
draw.
probably enough to
Yeah.
get them over the line, I'd say.
And then looking at the other side, Rapiers, Rough Riders, Eagles, Titans.
Yeah, no, it's
You,
Devils, Rapids, and
I reckon it's between Devils and the Rivets and Surfers.
I mean, the big game is Rivets are playing Surfers this week,
Yeah,
which helps the Devils out quite a bit. Um, Although
yes,
they
it
do have
does.
to play.
Have the Devils played? They must have only played the Eagles once so far this
Yeah, they've got
season.
to play the Eagles again. They got the tough end of the season. They got Eagles followed by Rapiers,
Okay,
so that's their tough part.
yeah,
But the upside is that Rivets have to play Surfers, and therefore one of them is going to pick up a loss there. So
yes, yeah. I personally feel like the bowl is Eagles Hornets. I know that Simon would, if he was here, would say the Hornets are going to win it.
I do like the Hornets. I actually quite like the Titans this year. Titans have looked good. Uh, their loss was to the Rapiers, which is interesting.
Am
Uh,
am I being drawn in too much by the fact the Eagles beat the Rivets?
Yeah, I don't think you can look into the Rivets losing quite as much as obviously you used to be able to. But yeah, I fancy a Titans Hornets final this year.
Okay. On to the Continentals, where we will first of all check in on our favourite team of Yorkshire.
You're winning Royals, you mean?
Yorkshire lost. Disappointed. Another reason Simon didn't turn up.
That's the real
Kill
reason.
winning Royal scored a lot of points.
Yeah, there's not actually that much offense in that game.
That is a Brit Bowl score.
It's they scored that for 430 no, yeah, 434 yards of offense.
Nice.
Let's see, yeah. So I mean, that was a big game for the Angels to lose, right? It's
Yeah, it was huge.
probably them out.
Trojans winning. Let's have a look at the standings. I think 360 teams. Yeah, a lot of 5-1 teams.
Yeah, I mean the RFC is like what, 6 teams are a game, at least a game ahead.
Yep.
Badgers, Eagles, Bullets, Renegades, Patriots, and then you've got just the one team on 4 and 2, Monarchs. I mean, it's got to feel pretty good if you're one of those teams at the moment.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen any C's in some of those, but I imagine they'll be coming this week. The Badgers are all but locked, for example.
Yeah. Weirdly, like the Bullets and Renegades are pretty much both locked.
Yes, but
Feels-
it's definitely the difference between going through as a wild card and going through as a division winner,
yeah,
and potentially going through as the second seed, which is huge.
yeah. Um, I mean, on the UFC side of things, you've got Trojans, Bombers, and Royals who all look good. You'll probably get one team out of the UFC North.
You have to get one team out of the UFC North,
I
unfortunately.
mean, you're not going to see 2 teams, is
You
my
are
opinion.
not. No, you are not.
Uh, and again, UFC East is probably looking the same. Not who,
Yeah, you're potentially looking at the Banditos and Westies battling it out for the second wild card.
that is probably true. I think the Angels are just. I mean, I'm going to take it back slightly on
I don't
West.
think they're mathematically out, but it's very hard.
Well, the problem is, so the Banditos have the Westies next game,
Yeah,
Bombers the game after that,
yeah,
Trojans game after that.
yeah. They've got a very rough out.
Yeah, they've got the Destruction last week, which they should win. Westies have Banditos, obviously. They've got the Hangers, so that they should win that one. Zulus, they should win that one, and the Venom, which
They've
they
got a much easier out.
so you've got to fancy the Westies to take one of those spots.
Yeah,
And I think the big game for the Angels is they're playing the Royals this week. Unfortunately, they also have the Trojans and the Bombers, so
yeah.
they're going to have to do it the hard way. That's for sure.
I definitely think it's difficult to look past the Trojans in the UFC, but we do love their helmet.
It's crazy how few points they've conceded this season.
It is insane.
Like,
Um, and then, sort of for similar reasons, the Badgers have been so hard to score on this year again that I think I'm going Trojans Badgers.
yeah, I mean I'd say that's a pretty safe bet. I was
That being
evaluating it
said,
myself, and
the Patriots, even with that one loss, haven't actually conceded that many points.
well, their loss was to the Zulus, which is I don't know. A couple of the games have been close enough that I'm not.
Sure, only conceding 75 points
Yeah, it's
over
good.
6 games, yeah. Especially when they have scored over double that. But yeah,
I mean, the,
I
the
don't
big
know.
question is, can the Bombers put the points on the Trojans, right? I think
Yes, yeah.
certainly on that side of things. I can't really see many teams beyond the Badgers. I'm struggling anyway at the moment.
Yeah,
Uh,
Patriots, I think, are probably the closest. The Bullets, I don't quite see their defense holding up.
that's the problem. A lot of the other teams have conceded a lot of points, even though they've won
Yeah.
games.
Yes.
The upside to the Bullets is they've beaten the Eagles and the Renegades, I think. If I'm correct. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they lost to the Royals. I think if anyone's going to challenge the Badgers, I'd say it's the Bullets. So, um,
Okay.
but I have to agree with you at the moment. Badgers Trojans is the bowl. as much as I want to be different.
On to the deltoids. So we have a Simon Bowl, which Simon managed to win.
Mhm. Good
Um,
job. Dave didn't win that.
yeah,
I see you won again.
I did indeed. I managed to eke out a win against the Titans. That was hard.
Colts are
Mar
annoying.
Mariners only just beating the Hayes.
Yeah, Colts are
And
annoying.
Colts Enlightenment surprising result. Biloxi Monarchs, I think, is a little. I know, no, that's about where I expected it to be.
Good win for the Copperheads as well, right?
Yeah, oh yes, good win the Flopperheads over York. So let's see what that does to the old standings. 4-6-0 teams in the Delta, of which somehow I'm one of them.
Only 206 teams though.
Yeah,
1051.
yeah, that single draw.
Dukes, Lone Stars, Whitmans all look pretty good. Enigma looks pretty good as well.
Yeah, Enigma do look good. Um, I think the wild cards in the GFC are probably the Enigma, and then Hammershark's Plague is going to come down to the schedule, I would have said.
Hammer Sharks. Hammer Sharks, they've got Withens this week, uh, which is a tough game. Then they've got
Yes.
Metro, Zeppelin, and Warriors. So
And
could be
then two easier games. Not that the Warriors are a complete walkover this year, but they're not the team they have been in the past.
yeah. Uh, Plague have Cougars this week. So again, they've got their tough game this week.
Yeah.
They've got the Chaos, which they should win.
Yeah.
49ers, which they should win.
Yeah.
And last game they have the Venom, where the Venom may well need to win as well. So it's slightly tougher, I think, than the
One
Sharks.
of those opponents is the Venom. It's not tough.
I mean, as in they'll be playing for their division, I
Yeah.
imagine. So, um,
BFC.
I mean, actually, the Enigma don't have the easiest of finishes.
No, they don't.
So,
They're
I mean,
gonna have La Jolla.
they have week
Is it
nine
La
here,
Jolla at home or
yeah,
away?
at home,
Okay.
and then they have Withens away week 10 as well. So,
Yeah. And given the fact there's 3-6-0s, there's likely that the Wivens will be playing that week 10 game for number one seed or potentially as well.
oh, even for number two seed, right? Because you want that bye week.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like we've seen in some seasons where the team can just not play week 10 basically because it doesn't really affect seeding.
yeah,
VFC, we're definitely getting two teams from the East.
yeah. I mean, Copheads and Centurions obviously look the two the two leading teams for that one. I imagine they're going to all eat each other at some point.
Yes.
We got
Um,
Centurions Colts this week. Yeah, Centurions Colts is this week. And Centurions have Colts, Fury, Copperheads, and Jets. So
I mean, it's concerning to me how much the Colts struggled against the Enlightenment.
yeah, well, a few of their games have been close. What happened in that game? They gave the ball away a lot. Doesn't help. But yeah,
I think it's difficult to look past Froome.
yeah, they should win. I think
If
you
if
should win your
if
division.
I don't at least get a wild card from 6-0, something's gone drastically wrong.
We've got Rogues, Mariners, uh, Titans, Centurions. No, no,
It's
no
not an
gimme.
easy. It's not an easy end, is it? It's not a gimme.
But you should beat the 3-3 teams. I feel
Oh,
when
I
you're
only
essentially.
just beat the Rogues week one.
You got them at home, right? No,
I
no,
think I'm
you got them
away.
away.
Yeah, I'm away. I'm away to them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that goes next week. But I mean, essentially, I think you need one win, and you should be in, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, I think I need one win out of those, and the Mariners might be my easiest chance. That's not to say it's a complete walkover.
yeah, I mean, it's that, or if the Centurions end up out of it by that last week of the season, which seems unlikely,
Yeah,
then, then that's the other option. But um,
but I have no idea with the bowl here. It's not an immediate, obvious Lone Stars Katanas bowl again. It's possible, but it's not as obvious.
so Katana's lost to the Centurions and the Lone Stars, so
Yeah, I I
very losable.
think
I fancy the Copperheads. I think,
I was going to go Copperhead's Cougars.
but then the problem is the Copperheads lost to Simon, so that rules them out. That's correct logic, right? I mean, that's how these things work.
It is, but you have to remember to get to the bowl, they don't have to play Simon again until the bowl.
What if they did play Simon in the bowl? I mean, that'd be
Then
crazy for
then
us.
Simon would be taking a bowl home.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Copperhead's Lone Stars at the moment.
Okay, I'll stick with Copperhead's Cougars. Yeah,
I do like where the Wyverns are at the moment as well. So
yeah. No, I agree. I just think that when Hoff's got a team that can go 6-0, his game planning skills are enough to take it over the edge.
yeah, it's true. But Aaron's got that win over Lee. So
True, true.
and I mean the big game is they play each other in week 8. Cougars,
Yeah,
Lone
yeah.
Stars. That's big for
That will be huge.
seeding purposes.
Yeah. On to the Empires.
Red Bulls are struggling this season.
They really are. Griffins are back on form, scoring 0 points.
Close game for the High Hunters.
Yes, only just winning against the Glyndwr Patriots, I guess that pronunciation. Storm only just making it past the Gamblers as well.
Yeah, Hornets beating Rough Rangers just about. A lot of close
You
games.
had to mention R cubed, didn't you? The
Yep.
heartbreak.
How much? Let's see. How much of a heartbreak was it?
Oh man, oh no, they've been out of the playoffs for a while.
No, I mean the game itself.
Oh,
How much was it? Oh, it wasn't that. They were down and then they tried to get back into it right at the end. So.
4-6-0 teams.
Uh, yeah. I mean the Seahawks have been very impressive this season, I have to say.
Yes. Playoffs. I'm looking at currently the Claymores Tomahawks positions for making the wild cards. Fully aware that the Jaguars and Tomahawks may flip round.
Yeah. Are they playing each other this week? Uh, yes, they are. Jaguars don't have the easiest schedules, but they should make it in, I feel. I think it's
Oh,
going to take a lot from the Gorillas or Red Bulls to.
I just looked how tight the wild card battle is in the PFC.
So what we got Shark, Storm, and the Rogues who are probably in there, and then almost every other team's on 3-3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
We got
only teams that I would say are mathematically eliminated are the Kings, the Knights, and the
Boise. Yeah.
yeah.
So you said R cubed are eliminated, but they're actually well in it still.
Uh, sure. I have to I have to set my expectations so I don't build up my hope too much.
Um,
So that
but,
that's a playoff battle.
I mean, I would run through all of their fixtures, but that's a lot of teams to run through fixtures.
It's too many. It's that classic thing of the year. There's too many moving parts.
Yeah. I mean, Hurricanes have a pretty tough schedule. Who we got? Yeah, so Gamblers and Hornets and Rough Rangers are probably all going to face each other and eliminate each other.
Yeah.
Uh, who have the Bounty got? Bounty got play Chaos, Sharks, tough game, Jets and Texans, reasonable.
Yeah.
Looks.
Looking, looking towards the bowl, it's so difficult to look past the Seahawks who have conceded 40 points all season.
And they've got a great name.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to pronounce it. Bro
Oh,
Dreger. Bro.
bro.
Bro. Um, Seahawks Storm Bowl is very difficult to look past for me.
Yeah.
I can see the Sharks. It's the surname of the coach of the Storm that makes it difficult to look past them when they're 6, 6, 6 and 0.
Let's have a quick look at bits and pieces. Let's see. I kind of feel that both the Storm and the Sharks will end up 10-0 this season. That's my feeling. Um, who wins though? That's the real question.
It is a tough question.
And part of me always wants to choose the Jacksonville High Hunters from the other side.
Part of me does as well. I was going to talk about them and Seahawks, then I saw or was reminded how few points the Seahawks have conceded.
Yeah, that's the huge part of it. I mean, if the High Hunters had looked more convincing this week, I would have been maybe a little bit higher on them, especially against a team that were 3-2. I think they should
Yeah.
probably make it a bit easier. But we all have those games, right, where
Oh
things are
yeah.
closer than we'd like. Could actually end up like looking at the fixtures. We could get pretty close to 4 10-0 teams.
Nice.
None of them play each other. And
Be interesting if that has happened. I doubt that's ever happened before.
yeah, that would be super interesting, I think.
If it gets there, I might have to have one of our researchers check the stats on that.
Yeah.
But
So you say Seahawks Storm, right?
the Seahawks Storm, yeah.
Just to be different this time, I'll go Jacksonville High Hunters and the Sharks.
Okay. Anything else?
Genuinely think there could be 4 10-0 teams though, which
Oh
would
yeah,
be
definitely
super
possible.
cool.
Anything else before we go to a close?
No, that's actually been quite. Every league seems to be in quite a nice position.
Yeah, it's been good. Hey, with that, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye for me.